different.
All right, here, I got you.
I think it's a time ratio.
I think it's like the whole key and lock story. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
a key that can open many locks is a valuable key, but girl opens any key, ain't that valuable?
I think it's a time ratio, honestly, because like, look, in a month span, even a month.
See,
Yeah,
I think being a hoe is subjective. It's
Because, like,
everybody's
I think it's
Thank
the
you,
mentality
Dante.
behind
It's
it.
very subjective.
Yeah.
as you move up the body count list, people
now-
know of the body count list.
But if it's
I
your
feel like-
boyfriend and you care about him and it don't work, and you go on the next guy and it don't work and you keep going on, it's a little different.
But the frequency, how frequent is
Okay.
that? If it's like 2 weeks and then like, nah, I don't like
Okay,
it. 2 weeks and then I don't like
The
it.
term hoe came originally from like I think a religious view, because a male and a female joined together is supposed to form one flesh under God. That's what God stated is a sacrament.
Right,
So
okay.
I think basically if a girl or a guy is like sharing basically themselves with different, you're basically breaking flesh. Like it's not as natural.
Yeah.
And it's just not of God. So that's kind of where the whole term came from. So like I was saying, when it's subjective, it's just different in every person. Like one person might think, if I'm a guy who only had sex with one girl, I might think a girl with more bodies than me is a hoe. But that is just that guy's mindset. Like that's not everybody's like point of view or perspective.
So another thing, why do girls get called hoes for having sex, but guys get praised for it?
Like I said, it's how you view it. I mean, I'm not saying it's right, but it's
Guys,
kinda like,
I've heard guys say the stupidest stuff about like, oh well, it's no emotional attachment, so you know, it's just getting the nut, and that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Which is also not
That's
true.
crazy.
I will say when there's blood flowing down there, men's logic kind
your
of
logic
goes
definitely goes
out
up.
the
Yeah,
door.
it goes
But at the same time, you're still conscious enough to know that what you're doing is messed up.
I wouldn't say
Like,
it's not emotional. It's not, for some people, it's not like an attachment of emotion.
Yeah,
Like, I'm
some
not
people would just
putting
do it.
emotion in it.
Girl, but I've heard people say that it comes mostly from the guy's side. But I believe that a girl can have sex with a guy and have no emotional attachments and call it a day.
The way I view it-
It's called
no, I definitely,
Yeah, I know.
definitely
I know.
time.
Just like guys like
No
sex, I feel like girls like sex.
attachments.
But like the way I see it, all right. So like when a guy penetrates, it's like the girl has to literally open herself and become vulnerable
okay.
with you.
Yeah,
Like whereas
in a
the guy
sense.
can just
But you're
go
thinking
right in.
on the
You know what I'm
physical.
saying?
But I mean, in a sense,
We're talking
that does-
about emotion
That does make it
here.
emotional because she has, like I said, open
yeah,
her
she's
up.
like literally opening herself up.
Not,
to
don't
the guy.
think of it like emotion. She's letting him into her.
Inside.
Yeah, like
You're letting somebody enter
I must be
you.
taking major L's right now because girls can have sex and not have emotions in it.
I know.
But we're
Yeah.
saying traditionally it's viewed that way because she has to open herself up.
I guess, yeah, okay.
Like off rip, like when a girl loses her virginity, she's really opening up to somebody.
Yeah.
She's like, that's her letting go of her innocence to somebody.
It's not the same for a guy.
It's
A guy
not the
can
same
lose
for
his
another guy.
virginity
A guy
and
is
be
like, I just want to get it over with so I can get on.
It depends on your approach to it. If you're really in love with a girl and then you lose your virginity to her, then your mind will think like you will attach emotion to it because you have an emotional state with that girl. But if a guy's just losing it to a random girl, he no longer has that emotional attached to the
He's already
girl.
lost it, yeah.
He's having a mental thought of the actual sex. It's a pleasure. It's a sensation that he likes. It's not really the girl that he likes. So it depends on your approach to it. If you approach sex,
I think it just depends on the person and the experience too, because not everyone's the same. I know some people that have had sex and that are girls, and they just
I don't know, girls, you can leave it in the comments.
Yeah, that'd be
when you
nice.
first lost your virginity, did
Yeah.
you feel insecure about it, or did you
Yeah.
just want to get it over with?
just
Because I feel like
depends
most
who you
girls
are.
feel insecure about letting it go, and that's why they're so like,
Yeah.
you know, I don't want to let it go. When a guy wants to lose his virginity, he just finds a hoe and be like, I just want to get it over.
there's
with.
some guys that I've heard that said they regretted it and like they just
Yeah,
they
you
I mean,
inevitably regret it
yeah.
later on, but like at the time, you just
in
like,
the
I
now.
want to
I
get
mean,
it over
I
with.
guess.
all in
I don't
all, I think
generalize
sex is like
people.
overly hyped. To be honest, I mean, I think
Yeah.
it's good. Like, I'm not. A big
It's a
fan,
t-
but it's a hype about it. You hear about it when you're
Yeah.
younger. You like, oh
Yeah,
my god,
you
that
look
sounds so
forward to
cool.
it.
It's a temporary
Like,
fix to long-term
It's
problems.
how
That's
kids
all I
think.
say
They
to
always
sex.
want to do something that they can't have. They always want
It's
something that they
temporary.
can
But it's a
do
natural
that they
thing.
can't do.
God created us to be fruitful and multiply. Therefore, our mindset is
With
to
the one-
naturally multiply. Having sex is a practice towards multiplying if you are not planning on like ejaculating or
The right way though,
The
right?
right
Just
way.
having sex with anybody.
Yeah, but your body naturally thinks, okay, I'm preparing to multiply. It's
Yeah,
not
I mean,
thinking, I'm just
that's-
penetrating.
That's a whole new topic of the flesh and the spirit.
The whole thing.
I'm not letting anything
It's
go.
like, who does it matter to
Yeah.
about being a hoe? 'Cause girls, certain girls can change. Like, I'm pretty sure all girls that label as hoes aren't hoes their whole life. Just like a guy who's lazy can one day work hard. A guy who's not an athlete can one day be an athlete. A girl who's a hoe can one day change it up and be like, okay, I want to be faithful. Like I was doing it wrong. I am awoke now, and I want to do the right thing.
Secondary
and share with my
abstinence is a
person.
real thing. Ladies, if you feel like you've gone so far and you can't go back, you can. You can literally stop and be like, I'm taking the vow for secondary abstinence until I'm married. It's not just like now that you've done it, you have to keep going. Like you just have to keep having sex. People
Mary
stop all the
Magdalene
time.
in the Bible is a perfect example of that.
Man, second chances are real.